And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this beautiful Monday. I'm doing well myself. I'm doing a follow-up on this particular situation with the so-called assassination attempt of ex-president, soon-to-be president again, Donald Trump. Okay, I'm telling you, it just amazes me every time I hear him about ready to be president again. But be that as it is, look, we're going to talk about who the shooter was to the left, which is Thomas Matthews Crooks, okay, 20 years old. And he is a professed Trump hater, and he claims to be a hater of Republicans, but at the same time, he is said to be a Republican. But he is no longer anymore because, well, the Secret Service did dispatch him, okay, and that's just what it is. But there's all kinds of stories going around and saying that basically Secret Service took their time about doing so, you know. And in case you're wondering why Candace Owens to the right is over here, she has a problem with it. She thinks some is nefarious on behalf of the Secret Service, you know. So without further ado, let's check out probably about a 4-minute clip of the whole entire situation with the Secret Service, you know, and then we're going to get Candace Owens' part on it, you know, her take, and then we're going to complete the commentary. Check this out.
My guys, take a look at that chart.
It is exactly what these counter snipers train to do, but this was the first time in history, according to a former senior agent, that a Secret Service sniper killed a would-be assassin, but clearly a shot too late. In the moments leading up to the deadly shooting, you can see those two counter snipers scanning for threats in their positions on the rooftop behind former President Trump. Their high-powered rifles appear to be pointed in the direction of the gunman's position on an adjacent building overlooking the rally. Within seconds, chaos.
He's on top of the roof. Don't go over there.
The sniper appears momentarily startled by the gunfire, his face leaving the scope, but then quickly recovering and taking out the would-be assassin.
There's no room for error, so that shot placement has to be absolutely precise.
You can see the guy down.
Authorities saying this is the lifeless body of the shooter on the roof of that building. According to a former agent, Secret Service counter-sniper teams should have scoped out and advanced all those areas where there were potential threats beforehand and known what the line of sight to Trump could be.
The fact that somebody was able to get within 200 yards with a rifle and be on an exposed rooftop, be seen by other people there, be seen by where it should have been cameras and drones and many other things in place, to watch for that, something broke down. That shooter with that rifle should have never been that close to the former president of the United States at a venue like this.
So let's bring in Martha Raddatz on that point tonight. And Martha, you said it would be up to a Secret Service sniper team to have surveyed those buildings even beyond the perimeter, the security perimeter there. And the other question, though, is even if they had, is there an explanation as to why they wouldn't have seen that suspected shooter suddenly appear on the roof during that rally? This was some 8 minutes into the rally.
Devin, it's really unclear why they did not see him sooner. He obviously had time to climb onto that rooftop with a rifle, get in position to shoot, take aim, and fire off rounds that were accurate enough to come very close to killing former President Trump, David.
And Martha, you've covered so many of these political rallies yourself. I've covered them as well, and we've been in those crowds. And almost as reporters, I mean, we're not on the lookout, certainly, but you generally do look at the perimeter. It's something that you're kind of drawn to, particularly in your line of reporting as our global affairs correspondent. You've been to war zones all over the world, and in the midst of this very deeply divided country, you almost almost out of curiosity look around, which is why it's not surprising that there have been initial reports that a witness or two might have spotted something suspicious up on top of that roof, because it really wasn't that far away.
It really wasn't, and in fact, I think initial reports had it even farther away, but it was about 150 yards, and there were people gathered around that area. I'm in Washington, D.C. I see the president all the time and motorcade, so just as you say, David, we're very aware of that, and ourselves looking around in that kind of environment, and witnesses do say they saw the shooter somewhere near that rooftop, David.
And you have to wonder, Martha, before I let you go, about the political campaign moving forward, really for both campaigns, and how these rallies, certainly the temperature, if the rhetoric is dialed back at all, given the calls from both the Trump campaign and the Biden campaign tonight, but from a security perspective, how that will change moving forward as well.
Well, the Secret Service, I've really never seen so many law enforcement officials, former law enforcement officials especially, saying publicly that this was a failure on the part of the Secret Service. So they will certainly try to double down what they are doing. Again, as you said, David, so eloquently, they responded very well to this attempt, but were not proactive enough, according to officials. David?
Martha Raddatz with us again tonight for our coverage. Martha, thank you.
You have got to be kidding. And let me say something right now. Take this to the bank, okay? That person was allowed to scale that roof, okay? I am not some individual who's trying to assess situation and have never been around the president of the United States. While Trump was in office, okay, was around him a lot. And let me tell you something. The Secret Service, there is no person that can get around the perimeter of the Secret Service where Donald Trump is without them being aware of it. I am not kidding when I say that my husband once almost got shot by the Secret Service because he came down a staircase. I was speaking at the NRA, and he snaked in and came down, and they didn't know who he was, and they were like, freeze, like, we will shoot you right now. So you're telling me that guy walked up and was trying to get the attention, the Secret Service saw him, and he's pointing, and he's saying, this guy's got a gun, and they're pretending they don't know what's going on? I mean, am I crazy? Do you guys actually believe this was a failure in intelligence? All of these Secret Service agents crawling around, and you don't think just what that guy said, that is common sense, okay? They're trying to now tell us that common sense is a conspiracy. That is the new thing that they're trying to tell the public. Common sense is a conspiracy. You're telling me this guy was able to walk up with a rifle in his hand and scale a roof, and you don't think the Secret Service, and let me tell you, they get there days before. Let me tell you how a security apparatus is supposed to run. Days before, they get in and they look at every possible angle in which somebody can hurt the president, okay? And I'm not even talking about once you get to the Secret Service. I'm talking about if you just have security in general. Before you speak, they will go, okay, this is the stage? Okay, let me tell you, that right there is a problem. They'll mark that as a spot. That right there is a problem. We need to know who this person is. They'll knock on doors, okay? They got to figure out every possible angle that any individual could potentially get on a roof, because you know what? This has happened in the past. People have been shot from roofs. People have been shot from windows. There is a 0% chance that some random person with a rifle was able to scale a roof, unless there was just an unbelievable failure in intelligence. And you want to know why it's unbelievable? Because I don't effing believe it. I don't believe it. I want the names of the Secret Service agents that allowed this remarkable security failure to go down. Because I don't believe this. I'm done with this. I don't believe this, not for 1 second. Having been around the president, having literally almost watched my husband get shot because he came down the wrong set of stairs at the NRA, screaming at him. And I jumped in front of someone like, don't shoot him, that's my husband. And you're telling me they knew he was gonna speak and they weren't worried about the roofs? A roof with an angle to shoot the president. This guy says 50 yards away. He watched this. And it wasn't like he scaled it silently. That guy looks in.
So now the Secret Service is under the spotlight on whether or not that they dropped the ball on this so-called attempted assassination of President or ex-president, soon-to-be President Donald Trump. Okay, that's basically what it boiled down to. Candace Owens seems to think that they did, and so does ABC. They seem to think that the Secret Service is responsible, liable for Thomas Matthew Crooks being able to send a bullet past Donald Trump's head, grazing his ear. You know what I'm saying? With an AR-15. I'm just saying, let me just make this clear first. I don't know about this whole entire story right here. I really don't, because I've seen the bullets of AR-15s. They look a lot like the AK-47s, and they are very, very tall. They like long, thick bullets. You know what I'm saying? And from the grazing I've seen of Donald Trump's wound, you know, on his ear, his right ear, looks as though something, maybe a smaller caliber gun could have done, like a 22 or 25, you know, caliber or something like that. You know what I mean? It would seem like to me that AR-15 would have dug a trough, you know, as a graze in this man's, the side of his head, where the ear, the top of the ear where is allegedly have struck, wouldn't even be there. He would have had to have it put back on. You know what I mean? But who knows? I don't know. You know, anything is possible in this day and age, but I don't know. But back to the Secret Service. You know, there's some people that seem to think that you dropped the ball and you let this guy do this, because there were other people. You know, it's said that some man was there and told, you know, the Secret Service that this Thomas Matthews was up on that roof with a gun. And the Secret Service actually told him, well, just don't do it yet. Don't take him down yet. That's what they said, you know. So I don't know. You know, it's something nefarious going on here. Some secret conspiracy, just maybe. You know, some people don't want Trump back in the office. That's just what it is. You know, you just never know who's working for, you know, who's on the other side when they appear to be on your side. I don't know. I want you guys to tell me what you think about this particular story right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on it in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.